through spiritual ecstasy, there's always this idea of entering into, going beyond a portal into a kind of a state of ecstasy. And as a society, we've been through different periods. I mean, going back to the 60s, people took drugs, obviously. There was the rock and roll, the social movement, the youth movement of that time was getting to a place of a higher consciousness.
Yes.
Here we are in the 21st century, and it seems as though we've lost all ritual. We've lost all ability to come together and seek spiritual commonality.
Yes.
Your show and what you do seems to attempt to bring that back into our lives. Is that message resonating? Is it growing? Is the message growing? Your spiritual message, which is historically a message that has been talked about since the beginning of the dawn of man. Is it growing, or do you find it very difficult to bring that across in this day of artificiality and people on their phones all day long?
We have been conveniently atomized by technology and social structures. But I feel like it isn't my message, but a message, as you said, a prevalent message that has been perennially present. What I feel, mate, is that even the idea of revolution itself is a secular people trying to achieve the idea of transcendence. What is revolution but a flash, a blinding white epiphany of togetherness? Really, I feel that there is, as much as we have an atavistic pang for fairness, like they do tests on primates, don't they? If they see unfair behaviour, the primates in the lab, they kick off. They probably don't like even being in that lab. They must have realised that's not fair. Well, we have this instinct. We also have an instinct for togetherness and tribalism. And when we're prevented from fulfilling that, when we're kept, at the moment, it's not even that we live in a zoo. We live in a farm. Our consciousness is farmed. We've been turned into little consumer units. But somewhere in our memory, we remember what we're supposed to be, and we're recognising that this system doesn't work for us, as the brilliant Rousseau quote outlined earlier. And I think we're naturally returning to that. That is going to require a form of revolution. For me, a revolution doesn't infer violence. It just means neglect the current system. Don't use this system here that is designed to maintain itself to try to create revolution. That is impossible. That's like trying to use a shoe to make a pancake.
When people are on a spiritual journey, they're just saying the path grows narrower.
Yes.
In other words, as you get deeper into your spiritual journey, you find yourself really more with yourself, more alone, if you will, with your spiritual goal or spiritual ideals. Is this for you, Russell Brand, obviously someone who can, at the drop of a hat, step on a stage and be incredibly entertaining, a gifted performer? You're now on a path that is very different in many ways. Personally, are you comfortable with this at the moment, or are you a little bit unnerved by the spiritual genie that you've opened up the bottle a bit?
Well, I think, Max, is that we're going to die. So I've now seen what happens if you make money in Hollywood. I've seen what happens if you take loads of drugs. I've seen what happens if you indulge nocturnal activities. It ain't that interesting. I've tried all of them. All that remains is to pursue truth. And there ain't really that much. Like, regardless of what happens, in between 30 and 50 years, I will be dead. So I'm just going to use that to do the most interesting thing I can, to try to participate in the construction of a new ideology. Not a new ideology, just the realization these things are already here. Each religion talks of a divine realm that needs to be manifest on the material realm. Everyone's trying to do it, and people that are addicted to individualism and materialism try to prevent it occurring. So we just now pick a side. Armageddon's coming.